Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dying Light the Beast interview. I am joined by none other than
Tymon Smektała, Dying Light Franchise Director.
Franchise Director.
Yeah,
big
sounds
title,
nice, right?
Yeah.
It is big, yeah.
Super good. I love Dying Light so much, but let's get into the Beast, because Dying Light 2 now is coming on 3 years old almost.
Yes. Early next year in February, we'll be having a third anniversary of Dying Light 2.
So awesome.
So I think it's time to slowly start talking about the new project, The Beast, as you said.
Yes.
So that's what I'm here for.
Yeah. Of course, the big news is Kyle is returning.
Yep.
The original protagonist from Dying Light. Was that always the intention to bring him back, or how did that happen?
Okay, actually not, and there's like a nice backstory for it.
Yeah.
So nice, but also quite dramatic. So we were working on a second DLC for Dying Light 2.
Mm-hmm.
Quite busy with it. The work was progressing nicely, but at some point late 2023, the time flies.
I know.
We experienced a narrative story leak. So a huge part of our story went online. To be honest, it was our fault to an extent, because we just didn't properly hide all of that stuff in the game, in our updates. But it happened. So we had faced a very difficult dilemma: what we should do with this.
Yeah.
And of course, we could just ignore it. But then it would mean your most dedicated players, even if they don't want to, they actually kind of follow. They want to see everything. They want to check everything online, so they will know the story of the DLC. So we wanted to respond to this somehow, and what we did is we basically closed a bunch of our most senior people in a room for a week, and we started discussing different ideas. And something that started forming out of this was the idea that, hey, maybe let's put the DLC aside. Let's bring Kyle Crane back.
Yeah.
Let's use some elements of the DLC, mostly the map, the environment, and create a different story there, a story that kind of was growing in us for some time. And actually, it really started getting traction. But then, at the end of that first week, we said, okay, it looks good. It has potential. But it will not work if we don't get Roger Craig Smith, the voice of the original Kyle Crane. Yes, exactly. Thank you. Thanks. Hi, Roger. So we called Roger. He was a little bit surprised, telling us, hey, guys, I think you did something nasty to me in the following, the last game I was part of. So he definitely was surprised, and he's also a very busy guy. He has lots of things to do, but we kind of managed to convince him and find time in his schedule. So he said, "Yes, I will do it. I'm in."
Incredible.
So then we went back to the studio, and we spent another week just trying to work on this idea, knowing that we can actually do Kyle Crane. We can have Kyle Crane sounding and playing like as a continuation of Dying Light 1. And this was like a bolt of energy for the whole studio. And basically, that was the origin of The Beast. So
that's so cool.
We said, okay, let's put DLC aside. Let's create a new game. There were a few people that actually, I think it's also worth mentioning that there were a few people that have actually already bought the DLC as a part of our Ultimate game.
Yeah.
So we have made the decision to make The Beast free for them. Just we felt it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But I think the important thing is really that when Roger said yes, and we started talking about it, every team, basically characters, environment, level design, game design, people really started getting inspired by this and coming up with ideas. And that's how the game was born.
That is a great story. Out of, tragedy or mistakes.
Yeah, but it was a grim day.
It
was a grim day. It was really a grim day. The first day when we came to the office after the league, everyone was pale and we kind of didn't want to look each other in the eyes. But somehow we overcome. So that's one of the examples where from something not really that good, something good can happen.
Yeah. The big thing with Kyle this time around is the Beast. Obviously, he's got, some monstrous powers.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that and how that will change the gameplay, especially the movement. I want to know how the movement would be different with his powers.
So yes, definitely Kyle Crane returns. In the story of the Beast, he has been experimented on for 13 years.
So long.
Yep. So kind of like you could say it's Oldboy with zombies, right? Because Oldboy is kind of the same setup.
Great cell.
Yep. Okay. So he was experimented upon by the guy named Baron, and Baron kind of started playing with Kai's DNA, enhancing his abilities, and an effect of it is that he has access to those beast-like powers. And of course, the first thing that comes to your mind is, okay, so you just basically smash things more effectively, but it's not like that, because yes, you can also kind of traverse more effectively, run faster, jump higher, be able to reach things that aren't reachable by a regular human. We actually kind of keeping some of the cards about the Fury close to our chest. We don't reveal everything yet, because we'll kind of start moving into a super proper rollout of the game early next year. But yes, it's a very nice dynamic and mechanic, and I think it's also a very nice dynamic in a zombie game, in a survival game, because like usually in survival games and zombie games you are overwhelmed by zombies, and like the most common feeling is that you have your machete, but it's kind of broken. You have maybe one med kit. There are plenty of zombies around you, and you kind of just look around and feel scared about that. So you really have to think smart to survive.
Love that.
And we have that as well. But from time to time, there's kind of a game mechanic that governs when and how often you can use that. You can use those beast-like powers. And then it's kind of like game of Pac-Man. Suddenly, it's not the ghost chasing you, but you get to chase the ghost. So I think this is something quite unique for the zombie genre and for the survival genre. I'm really interested how players will respond to that. But it really is a lot of fun. It really is nice.
Yeah. Oldboy and Pac-Man. It is awesome. I love it.
No, but these are great inspirations.
Yeah. Can you tell us about the new environment, the woods?
Yes. Yeah. Actually, so that's okay.
I love the woods. The woods at night with zombies lurking around.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm so excited about this.
All of it is there, but I must say that it's actually, we didn't make it easy for ourselves with having this kind of environment, because as you know, Dying Light is a game built on parkour, and parkour is kind of easiest to use in an urban environment. You just see lots of obstacles, rooftops, jump between them, etc., etc. In the new region called Castor Woods, which is like very rural, foresty, lots of woods, lots of hills, it's not really that obvious that you can use parkour. And we can talk in a few moments how we actually did introduce parkour to the game, but even in places where it's not obvious to use parkour, sorry for that. Yeah, I'm back. So even in places where you can't really use parkour, we found another ingredient that makes traversal exciting and interesting, and that's actually the scary element, the tense element. You going to the woods at night, not knowing what's there, using your flashlight. There are lots of shadows, so you don't know what hides in those shadows. So that's definitely a very nice kind of feel of Dying Light the Beast. Generally, you want the Beast to have like a bigger horror vibe. So this kind of synergizes perfectly with this. So if you're kind of looking for another kind of selling point or selling line for the Beast, I would say it's like a forest at night simulator. And if you really want to test yourself in that environment, then I think that the Beast is a nice way to do it.
I love that. The day and the night cycle is one of my favorite elements of this franchise. Is anything different this time around with day and night?
Maybe not that significantly. I would say that we are, like, generally for the Beast, it's next year Dying Light has its 10th anniversary.
Wow.
So like
Awesome.
thank you so much. Of course we'll be celebrating nicely starting January, but it also means that we have been working on the gameplay formula for Dying Light for 10 years.
Yeah.
A couple of projects, and basically we kept honing the core pillars of the game, which is parkour, melee focused, melee centric combat, and day and night cycle. So The Beast offers the most evolved version of it. Like all of our systems, like I think we really learned how to balance those systems properly, so they kind of give you that chill, but also that excitement of being chased, etc., etc. So, in terms of mechanics, maybe not that many new additions, but in terms of the feel of it, definitely the new environment, it's kind of different where you don't have that many safe zones, where you don't have that many obstacles that you can kind of use to lose the chase behind you, where you're running to the woods or again hills, any of the or the swamps with ankle high water,
oh
so
my
you kind of
gosh.
make a lot of noise there.
Yeah.
So definitely the feel is different. And yes, there are some kind of new beats here and there in the way how the enemies behave, how we spawn them, etc. But significantly, it's the experienced players loved from the first game, and it makes a return in the Beast.
Love it. Co-op returns, obviously.
Of course.
How is co-op implemented in this? Like, does everybody get to play as Kyle, or are there like 4 Kyles running around?
Yeah, it's 4 Kyles. Yeah, like
okay.
I think we at one point we said, let's not fight this. Let's not try not to come up with some crazy solution what it could be. For us, the co-op experience is kind of separate from you experiencing the story alone. Of course, you can play, and I think that's also worth emphasizing, that you can play the whole story with your friends. Yeah. But we kind of don't fight with it being a different type of experience. When you play with your friends, you have fun. Like one guy, exactly. Like one of your friends is debugging a zombie, another one is kind of, I don't know, telling everyone about this great piece of music that he heard, or maybe a TV series that he watched. So like you cannot really keep the level of horror, the tension on the same level. So yes, you run like 4 Kyles, but at the same time, the game has a lot of ways for you to customize your character. So basically, it's not 4 clones of the same guy running around. We have kind of the whole gear system where you can use different pieces of gear to also have some gameplay effects. So basically, every player can choose what fits their play style. We have like overall outfits where you can change your visuals. So it's varied. You don't see clones, but yes, those are 4 Kyles. But like it doesn't mean it. Like it adds to the fun, to be honest.
Yeah, there's something like I'm itching to just get in a car with my buddies and run down zombies. I mean, that is one of my favorite things.
And this is exactly what you can do, especially that the Beast has vehicles, right?
Yes.
So we
Reminds
didn't
me of the
have
following.
Yes, exactly. So it is kind of a reference in a way to the following, but how we use the cars is different as well, because in the following, like there were lots of open spaces, and the vehicle that you were driving was basically a buggy, so it was like a very zippy, very fast, and kind of like a action Carmageddon type of way. But for the Beast, aside from the Beast being more on the horror vibe, we also want to kind of bring back the feeling of survival. So this also relates to the vehicle. Like you drive heavier vehicles, you drive heavier cars, and they have bunch of mechanics that actually make you care about the vehicle a little bit more. You need to repair it, you need to fuel it, it can get destroyed. So yes, you can smash zombies, but if you smash, I don't know, 300 of them, 500 of them, you can actually damage your car. So again, like have your fun, but do it smartly, because if you want to survive, you have to be smart.
Yeah. Always reminds me of just Dead Rising, going in the tunnel and just like mowing down. I just love it. I love it. Choice is a big part of Dying Light 2, and factions.
Yes.
Is that being carried over into the Beast at all?
I think that the most honest, like, so there were 2 things in your question: choices and factions, right? So when it comes to choices, no. I think that's like, of course, there are some dialogue options that you can choose from, but those are not big choices. Okay. It's a linear story, and we really wanted to make it linear because Dying Light the Beast story, it references Dying Light 1, Dying Light 2, answers some questions from those games, and we want Dying Light the Beast to kind of set the canon for this part of the series narrative. So if you would able to make choices, then like there's no canon, right?
Yeah.
Every player would have something on their own, which is also nice and also good. But we really wanted to have that. This is the canon telling of what happens with Kyle Crane after Haran. So no, there are no choices in the narrative, but I think actually the narrative is stronger because of that. Because like you really like we can really direct you where we want to direct you. The Beast also kind of gives players a little sneak peek at what will happen in the future for the series. So again, that was important to have this kind of canon thing leading to this sneak peek that I mentioned. Then when it comes to factions, like it's an open world with lots of people, lots of groups that you encounter. So yes, there are factions, there are groups of people that you help in this new open world region of Castle Woods, but you don't make choices between them. You help them, you interact with them in different ways. So this is a part of the game.
Nice. What are the advantages of, because this was originally going to be a DLC, and you guys said it's still like, over 18 hours.
Yes.
But it is smaller than Dying Light 2, obviously. What are the advantages of, having a smaller, more focused game?
Actually, it's more focused game because of that. And I think it's easier. I think it's kind of easier to control and easier to shape and direct the experience in the way that you want. Like a bunch of our departments, the kind of teams in our studio are very happy about this direction because, for example, for the level artists, for the environment artists, they can really basically look at every square inch of the map and handcrafted and kind of keep a focused eye on what's happening there, how it looks, how it plays, how it looks from different perspectives. So, and it I think it also translates to all of our gameplay mechanics. It is a compact game compared to Dying Light 2, but because of that, we can spend more time on polishing, kind of honing, looking for quality, looking for additional layer of complexity in everything that we have. So actually it's a very nice experience for us. And as a franchise director, which the role I got relatively recently, I'm kind of moving away from hands-on development that much. So I kind of envy the guys that are working on the Beast right now because they can really kind of focus on what they're doing. If it's a big project, like Dying Light 2, for example, or a lot of other games out there, you have 500 people working on the game. It's basically like, in a way, it's like a factory that makes that game. With a game more focused like the Beast, I think it's much easier to find that the quality, the kind of the handcraftiness of it, and also leave like little human touches here and there. So I think it's safe to say that because of that, also players will be able to find quite a lot of Easter eggs in the game that our developers have time to kind of hide there. They were always a staple in Dying Light series, but I think in the Beast it's like it will be like a really kind of, you can feel that there was a human dev that did this for you, especially for you, the player, to find, discover, and have fun with.
The Dying Light community is so invested and so passionate. Any teases you can give for the future of Dying Light 2 at all?
Just some, because as I said, next year we are celebrating the 10th anniversary of Dying Light 1, the 3rd anniversary of Dying Light 2, so there will be some celebrations and we'll reveal a little bit more. But I think like we have been asked, and we are asked about this quite a lot of times. Some time ago, we have said that we plan to support Dying Light 2 for 5 years minimum. Then we announced the Beast, like in between. So people are asking us, hey guys, but are you going to abandon Dying Light 2? What does it mean? Like, will you stick to your promise? And yes, definitely we'll stick to our promise. Like even... Today is Friday, so on Wednesday we had a new update for Dying Light 2, which was basically some additional additional gameplay features, gameplay mechanics, also a new event, winter event that we have added to the game, some changes to the prologue, which we wanted to make a little bit more streamlined. So yes, players can expect consistent flow of updates for Dying Light 2, at least for those 5 years. But like we were saying something similar for Dying Light 1 and then continued to support the game for 8-9 years. So
for real.
So we'll see how it will end, but definitely 5 years are guaranteed. We think that there's space for more Dying Light experiences, and even Dying Light 1 is still very popular. Dying Light 2 is also popular, getting supported. Dying Light the Beast also has a space on the market. I think players will be sticking with us for the whole kind of story and all of the games. Maybe they will find a entry point to the franchise that works for them, and actually the Beast is kind of that because it's more compact, so it's easy to get into. It offers the most evolved, the best version of our gameplay. So actually, I encourage you guys to try the Beast when it comes out. But yes, Dying Light 2 will be supported. More details coming next year, early next year. But yes, things are happening there.
That is awesome. Any final thoughts you want to let the communities know for Dying Light the Beast?
Dying Light the Beast. Maybe it kind of will refer to the thing that I just said. Dying Light the Beast is really a very nice entry point for the series. So if you are watching this and you have never played Dying Light game, of course get Dying Light 1 or Dying Light 2. But if you're kind of considering it, I think when the Beast will come out, it will be a very nice kind of entry into this. If you are our player, if you have spent time with Dying Light already, I think it's also really worth getting because it kind of it's like the cherry on top of all of those 10 years. Has some answers that maybe you had from previous games. Gives that little sneak peek at the future, and I think the future is quite exciting. So again, of course, I need to say it, but I really feel that it makes sense to say it. Please try our games because they are quite competent zombie fan.
They are. I am a zombie enthusiast. I love Dying Light so much. Thank you so much for being here.
A pleasure.
Cannot wait for Dying Light the Beast, the return of Kyle. Thanks so much, everybody.